Good morning. I'm here with Dr. Robert Prentice. And Dr. Prentice, would you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your chapter in the book, Sustainable Capitalism?
Uh, my name is Robert Prentice. I teach business law and business ethics at the McCombs School of Business at the University of Texas at Austin and have done so for 45 years now. They're going to make me do it till I do it right.
They are very, very lucky to have you. So, could you talk a little bit about why you wrote this chapter and why you think it's important?
Well, I wrote it because you asked me to, and I was very happy to because it's a topic I'm interested in. And the reason I think it's important is that I've got two daughters, and they're going to live on this planet for, I hope, a long time. And I'm worried about their quality of life. And the state of our economy, the state of our democracy, the state of our environment is going to have everything to do with the quality of their life and the quality of everybody else's lives, I think. And I am a big believer in capitalism as the best way to organize an economy, and a big believer in democracy as the best way to govern a society. But I believe that both our economy and our democracy are kind of headed in the wrong direction these days, and it's having a very bad impact on what's even more important, and that is the environment that we all have to live in. Um, we're the richest nation in the world. We should be leading the charge to improve the environment, to save our world from climate change, and instead we are laggards and we're going in the wrong direction, and that's something I'm just, really worried about. Read this morning that scientists this month recorded the least amount of sea ice on our planet that they've ever recorded before. And it seems like every single day we get some new factoid out from scientists who look at the economy, and it's almost always very discouraging. So that's why I think this is a topic that is very, very important to address.
Great. And so you wrote a chapter on democracy and capitalism. Can you tell us one primary insight or concept that you'd like the reader or student to walk away with after reading your chapter?
Well, I think that very prominent economists like George Stiglitz and Luigi Zingales point out that capitalism is a great system, but it's got externalities and negative impacts. And one of the worst of those is it tends to generate inequality, economic inequality, wealth inequality, and that has a lot of bad impacts in societies. One of the most important is inequality in political power. What that tends to mean is that rich individuals and powerful corporations have undue political influence. And when that is the case, they use that undue political influence to preserve their own wealth, to advance their own wealth, and to delay or even defeat improvements in the climate and other sorts of public goods. Uh, I wrote this chapter a long time before the November 2024 election. But if you just look at what's happened since then, you can kind of see the point. The richest man in the world wrote a $250 million check to the winning presidential candidate, and he is now the most powerful person in Washington, D.C. President Trump has appointed 13 billionaires as influential members of his administration. You could kind of see it coming when the inauguration, President Trump surrounded himself with Bezos and Musk and Zuckerberg and a number of other billionaires. And so it's unsurprising that many of the primary goals of the administration seem to be to advance the wealth of corporations and to protect wealthy individuals from paying taxes. And I just think the trend is kind of moving in the wrong direction. And so what I would ask readers to do is read my chapter and do their own independent research, and then decide whether or not they agree with the conclusions that I draw that our capitalism and our democracy are headed in the wrong direction. They may reach different conclusions, but I'd like them to at least look at my arguments and see what they think, but don't just stop there.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you one more question because I have you here. I really am now realizing I should have made these, 20-minute interviews because I'm actually really hungry to hear more about your chapter and your thoughts. And so let me ask you this because part of the one of the goals of the book is to provide people with a sense of hope, and a sense that we are not locked into a future, but that people have agency and that we have control over capitalism. It is not a god. It is not foisted upon us in one form, but we can adapt and control it. And so, if you were thinking about a message of hope or a message of agency, what can we do? How can capitalism be framed or shaped in order to support democracy?
Well, there are no magic answers here, and I think most of the answers are fairly obvious. We've got to get out there and we've got to vote and get involved in actions. It might be something as rudimentary as just a local environmental club. I have friends around the country who go to meetings every month to see what they can do to improve the environment in their city. Sometimes they go and they meet with their local representatives, whatever a state representative or a congressional representative, and try to lobby them just as interested citizens. But we can also vote. We can also make contributions to political causes. We can also make donations to organizations that we think are trying to move the world in the right direction. We do have agency. We can make those choices, but we need to do it. We need to get off our rear ends and do it.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Prentice. Appreciate you, appreciate your work, and appreciate your contribution to the book.